It is something else riding a sled with no snow on the ground. I had to move her from way down that way back up over here. Here, we'll fire her up. She's pretty good running. Oh, I turned the choke on. Got her on. Well, maybe not. I guess not. Strange. Make sure the key's all the way on. Yeah, huh. I don't know. Well, she ran pretty good up here. Just had to get her moved. Old 70 Skidoo Olympic. Waiting for more snow. Soon. This thing's so fun in the snow, let me tell you what. And then we got the Alpine. And I've got 2 more Olympics in there. A John Deere 440 Trailfire. A Skidoo Nordic. 70 Nordic. Up in the shed over there we have a Skidoo Land. I think that's 80s. And in that shed in that barn there's also another Nordic with the 18-inch wide track. That's what's over there. And a unknown year, I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of a rare find. It was a Aryan's Snowmobile. They make some snowblowers, and we found the Snowmobile, and I've never seen one before, so we picked it up. Oh, this is flooded. Here, let's see if we can't get her running here. Gotta mess with the throttle screw. Come on. Maybe it needs a little choke. No, I don't know. She's a pretty good runner. It's got the 335 with the electric start. This is the starter. You know, just a little single cylinder. Roars to life though. I was probably just doing almost 20 through there. Up the hill. Just had to get her back to the barn. I think something happened to the carb because it started pouring gas out down there. See, it's all gas. 2-stroke, fresh. She'll run. It's alright. Well, oh, and then this, I think, is going to be my Sap Rig. Hopefully. Took a caboose frame, so normally there'd be a little cart on there for somebody to ride on. And I've just got this 55-gallon drum here that has two plugs on it. And then, so this one will be for filling up out of the buckets in the woods. And then the bottom one will be for draining into the sugar shack here. We got a big evaporator in there. But I think just this will just be temporary, like for this year. I have a couple more of these frames in the barn there. I might figure out something a little more permanent. But here, I'll show you the evaporator. We haven't used it in quite a few years, but I want to get it fired up this year and boiling. Yeah, so Sugar Shack's kind of full of stuff right now. But if we come over here, we got beams to build another tractor or snowmobile shed. Then right there's the big evaporator. And then years ago, my dad had a big cast iron thing made, I think. That's what these are right here. It's, I couldn't tell you much about it. My dad could talk all day about it. But, a guy in Maine made that for him. And I guess it's supposed to help with the boiling and everything. But when we get boiling up here, I mean, we've got the smokestack going up out of the roof, but just the whole shed is nothing but steam. It's a pretty neat sight to see. This is a pretty good sized little shed that we built quite a while ago, though. It's probably almost 10 years old, this building. I mean, this wood right here still looks almost brand new because it's been under the overhang. Normally we had all this full of wood, but I don't know. We won't do a ton of boiling this year. Maybe just a little bit. And yeah, maybe I can figure out a way to drain that 55-gallon drum into these two tanks here, and then pump them into the shed there. That'd be pretty neat. Then we had a hawk fly into the window here a few years ago. No. Shattered the window. Yeah, the old Evaporator. She's not in too bad a shape, I don't think. Then there's the Alpine and the Farmall H. Dad's Farmall H. The Alpine, my dad rides this a ton in the winter. He smashed it up last year a little bit because the snow was so soft and he was in the woods. Wasn't his fault. He doesn't like the windshield anyway, because when you're sitting on it, you can't see anything. Somebody went and... Is it a wrap? Not sure whether it's wrapped or if it's painted. But then that just... She needs a good bath. Yep. Alright, well, we'll see ya. We got the Olympic moved away from the road. That's all I was trying to do today. And actually, these Olympics, they've got a belly tank on them. I just put some gas in there. She's about halfway full now. They got a in the tunnel tank, and they've got a little plug underneath them down by the track, kind of. So what you want to do is, if for some reason you have to store it outside, you always take that plug out so then water doesn't sit in there. Or you just make sure that, you know, no liquids sit in there. Make it worse. But yeah, this is the 70 Olympic. It's got the pop-up headlight. I think one of the pins is broken or something. It doesn't sit quite level all the time. And then the one side that it does sit kind of level, it's zip tied in. But it is running off of the tank down there. I need to clean all this up a little bit. I mean, I'm running an inline fuel filter. I need a bigger one. Bigger inline, because that one's just a little too small. But then you've got your bag back here. I'm getting this one registered this year so I can take it out to the state lands. The track on it, it's decent. This track is from 73, so it that's what that says on it. 1973 Bombardier. But I'm pretty sure, see, serial number says that it is a 70, possibly 71. I'm not sure. I go by the serial number when I'm doing these. It's got a new seat on it, I think. Pretty sure that's not original. It should have looked like that. But it's got the airbox still. I bought this one and the 69. Here, we can run in the barn and take a look at those. Yep. I'm painting the Nordic right now. It's I'm pretty sure it's a 70. I don't think it's a 71 based on the rear box. But I think I have two 70s. See, this is the 170. This one's kind of a parts sled. See, the seat on the Olympic would look like that. That must be original. But the motor was stuck solid. I couldn't get it free. But it had a good hood on it. And then the other one's a brown hood. Brown hood 1970 with a flip-up headlight. And then we've got the Trailfire, the 440. They kind of make me think of enticers. Kind of like Larry Enticer. He's a pretty cool guy. So I like this sled a lot because of him. This is probably my favorite sled. This is the 69 Olympic, Skidoo Olympic, with the 299 single back here. I was having a hard time getting it running this year because the muffler broke off it, so it's straight piped. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. It didn't seem like it was sucking gas, and so I sprayed a little gas down into the spark plug hole, and she roared to life. Oh, is it loud? Sounds like you're shooting a gun. Then I've got the Nordic here. Let's see, she's all painted up. Here we go. Yeah, for the most part. I'm not trying to go show quality or anything. She's just a little rusty, so I'm trying to save her before she rots away completely. That's got the 399 with electric start in it. Here's the 399 out of that yellow Nordic. Oh yeah, I can't forget about this sled. Alright, so the phone died the other day, but I was coming to show you the 72 Olympic. Well, that's what I believe it to be. 72 Olympic. It's got the 299 or the 300. No electric start on this one. You just got the one-way key, so she's pull start only. Down there you got a handle. Runs good. Well, ran good last year. Haven't tried to fire it up this year. When we got it running last year, we bought it last year. When we got it running, it ran. We tried to move it up here, and both the drive sprockets teeth sheared right off it. No flip-up headlight on this one. This one's kind of a basic model. Had a little bit of rust back here. I've hopefully slowed that down. I painted it up a little bit. But yeah, I just finished this one, and I tore the Nordic apart because I want to get that one riding again before winter. Hopefully I can. And then over here, got this Aryan Sled. This is the last one in the barn that you guys haven't seen. It's kind of a strange looking sled. Picked it up for $250. See, it's got, I don't think this is a original headlight, but has no spark. I tried unplugging the key switch. That didn't give it any spark. I put different plugs on it. That didn't give it any spark. So now I've got I don't have the flywheel off. I think I can clean the points with the flywheel on, and then I'll roll it over a few times, see what it does, and then if that doesn't do it, I'll pull the flywheel off and work on that. But that's coming after the Nordic is put back together, which I broke 2 bolts on the Nordic on accident. I broke one off inside of the bogies, and I broke one off the track tensioner bolt. I broke that off on accident. Didn't mean to do that, but you know what? They were pretty rusty. It's probably better that I get new bolts for it, but... And then this is Grandpa's old truck. He bought a new one, so he gave it to the farm here, so... Otherwise, it was just going to go to scrap. Still runs great. I think it's a 97 Chevy. It's got the 350 in it. It's got 4-wheel drive. She's pretty rusty, but still a good old work truck. And we'll come up here and up over to the shed here. Up here, I'm trying to clean this spot up. Not too proud of it. Shape that it's in. I mean, there's a 3-point hitch rototiller there. Lawn wagons. Tires everywhere. I don't like it that much. Gotta clean it up. Maybe put another shed right in here. I'd like to do that. Although I'd probably get full of snow because it's a hayfield. And the wind gets really bad up here. Like probably negative 30 is the wind chill. But over here we've got Super C, star of the channel. Bought this last year. Hadn't ran in 25-30 years. Put a new carb on it. Put a new alternator on it. Rebuilt the distributor. New coil. New 12-volt battery. Trying to do headlights on it right now. Put a new muffler on it. In here on the governor, I put new spring in there, but I gotta tear it apart and put the bump spring in because it surges really bad right now. New carb, new gas lines, fuel filter. Not a new sediment bowl, but I cleaned it out. I gotta fix the hydraulics still. This is a 52, obviously. That's why the channel is called 52 Super C. It's got the disc brakes and everything that a Super would. Put that seat cover on there from my M. New steering wheel. Look at this. So somebody along the lines was, I don't know what they were doing, but they cross-threaded the steering wheel, so I can't get a nut on it. So I drilled a hole through it. The old DeWalt. All it has to do is hold it from sliding off, you know. Then that keyway right there on it holds it from spinning on the shaft. But I couldn't get a nut back on it. And then the electrics, they're not very good. I mean, this is your kill switch, and this one's going to be for lights. Trying to make everything more permanent. Everything works on it right now, but the reason I went into the reason I tore in, oh, shit, not leaking. That's good. The reason I tore into the governor is because you were either at idle or wide open, and it ran away. And then this is a project. It's got the 4-speed rear end with the 5-speed variable shift. So what I want to do is I gotta obviously get a motor, like Putter 212 or something for it. And then belt drive, have the other belt for it, and maybe pulley swap it. Put I don't know how I'd do it because this is kind of a clutch. I'd have to swap that pulley with the pulley on the motor. And since it's got the 20 speed, it's kind of a 20 speed. I mean, it's not really, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 by 5, so it's kind of a 20 speed. The frame's basically all painted. That rear end there's not. Doesn't help that it sits right. Don't have enough room for it in the shed. Gotta clean all that out, and then I'll get that in there. Then this is the Massey Ferguson TO20. It's a project. The motor's all torn apart because it's seized. It's been soaking all summer and with penetrating oil. I'm not sure how I'll get those pistons out if the penetrating oil doesn't work because it's just a solid block of rust. If you have any ideas for that, comment them below. It needs new tires and rims in the back, same with the front. Transmission, I hope is good. I think it's good. I got this for free, along with its original Massey Ferguson 1-bottom plow, 3-row cultivator, and a 3-part drag. This tractor kind of has its own history. Obviously bought brand new from factory in 1950, is what I can tell from serial number. And then he used it for, well, what year? Up to the 90s, I think. 85. He used it up to 85. So 35 years of, just garden work. That's all it did, was a garden tractor. And then parked it because he started having heart attacks or strokes, one of the two. And someone took the distributor but put a plug in there. I did not think that it was going to be seized the way that the oil looked. No water in the oil at all. And then the exhaust valves were open on cylinders. I think 2 and 4 or 3 and 4 or something. I don't know. And they were just solid blocks of rust. There wasn't anything I could do about it. And so the head sits over there. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I don't know. Needs complete overhaul. The kits for these are only like $500. So, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get those pistons out. I have no clue how I'm gonna do that. Probably next step is to just drop the oil pan, take those bolts off the crankshaft, and get a block of wood up in there and try and hit them out. Because I've tried to free it up. Obviously, I wouldn't run it on the pistons that are in there because something bad had happened. But it sat for 35 years in the bamboo bush. My dad showed it to me. And a couple months later, I wrote the guy a letter. And his daughter called back and said I can have it. So that's pretty cool. And then I think it's been repainted before. Because it's kind of this dark blue color, kind of. Like a black, almost. And then the fenders, you can see there's a little bit of gray still on it. I'd like to keep it a patina. Maybe repaint it. I don't know. I just want to get everything working on it. I want to get her running. Well, obviously need a distributor. Maybe a carb and some other stuff. Obviously rebuild the motor and everything. But after this tractor is parked, my grandfather, who lives, 3 miles from where it was parked, bought the Massey Ferguson sickle bar mower to go with it. The one that went with it. Completely redid it all the way. And, we're going to need new rims. Kind of did a walkthrough on this, but this is the history of everything. Completely redid it. Used it a few times, put it away in his barn. It's got the original Harry Ferguson drawbar in it. This is a Ferguson, not a Massey Ferguson. As where that tractor right there is Massey Ferguson. When Massey Harris and Harry Ferguson got together, they came out with Massey Ferguson, from what I can tell. So then we'll walk around over here. This is my dad's snowmobile trail groomer. Bought that from the Shenango Snow Riders Club over in Preston, New York. Loaded it up in the back of that blue Chevy showed you earlier. Drove it home about three years ago. Pulls that behind his Alpine. And then over here we've got the pickup truck. This is mine. Bought this summer for $200. It was quite the steal. It's got the GM straight 6. It's 3-speed on the column. Runs and purrs like a kitten with that HEI distributor. It has brakes. Only this front driver's side works right now. That side has no shoes in it because the brake was locked up and I wanted to drive it this summer. Throwing new tires on it. I know they don't look the best on this old truck, but those ones are flat. Interior is okay. Missing the radio. Got Jerry Reed riding with us. See, obviously, you got 3 pedals. There's a shifter. Seat's ripped underneath that Mexican blanket. Oh. Cab's in okay shape. I mean, the cab corners are obviously gone. I want to take these steps off because you can't. I wouldn't step on them. You'll probably rip them off. She's Bandit 1. Then over here, oh, that's, in case you didn't know, that's a 1970 GMC C1500, right? And so that's what, C1500. So rear wheel drive only. It's no 4-wheel drive up front, nothing like that. And no diff lock in the back, so if one of your wheels starts spinning, you're stuck, basically. That's what happened right here. One of those little 15-inch tires started spinning, and it got stuck here for what, almost a month now. So hopefully with these bigger tires on the back, it won't get stuck. Hopefully I don't break the drive shaft or anything. Hope not. Starting off on first, you should be fine. Yeah. Then around here to this shed, we've got, I'm not sure the year, but we've got a skidoo of land. Needs a lot of work. It's probably better off to run it for a year or two and then park it in the bushes or something, because she is rusty, let me tell you what. I think it's, here, let's see. Serial tag shows 1973. You can read it right there. So she's a 73, which makes it a year older than the Brown Hood Nordic. Yeah. No, 2 years older than Brown Hood Nordic. Skidoo Nordic.